Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, Woke Witch Tarot. If you are a new subscriber or a new viewer, welcome. I hope that you find this a cool and comfortable place that you want to spend more time in. If you are a returning viewer, then thanks for coming back. I really appreciate the support. For today's pick a card reading, I thought it would be fun to do a couple of predictions for the month of February 2020. I've selected 4 different flowers for you to pick from. Just trying to get an idea of the general energies for the month of February and anything that the universe kind of wants to give you a heads up about. As always, these are general readings, so they won't resonate with everybody. If you'd like a more personal reading, you can always feel free to order one on my website at wokewitchtarot.com. If you like the video and you find the information adds value to your life, if you would hit that thumbs up button and consider subscribing to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. With all of that said, let's go ahead and jump into the 4 different flowers for you to pick from. So flower number 1 is this beautiful burnt orange and yellow flower. Flower number 2 is this almost magenta colored flower. Number 3 is a smaller purple flower. And number 4 is this beautiful vibrant yellow flower. Take a moment, pause the video if you need to. And when you're ready, go ahead and pick whichever flower resonates the deepest with you. And I will go ahead and begin to shuffle and see what kind of energies, what kind of predictions we are expecting for February 2020 for you. Alrighty, if you picked flower number 1, this beautiful burnt yellow orange, then this is the predictions that I have for you for February of 2020. Let's get started. So I'd like to take a moment to kind of get your general overall energy for the month. And we're going to start with this beautiful deck from Threads of Fate. I'm going to ask the universe to give me guidance on what your overall theme for the month of February is going to be in your life. Please give me some cards for pile number 1 for the month of February 2020, please. Pile number 1 for the month of February, please. Okay. Speak truth. That is the overall theme. Oh, it's funny because I was looking at this on the bottom, the card of Ascension. And for some reason it really stood out to me. And of course it jumps out of the deck. So we're going to keep that. We're going to consider it a sign. And we are going to assume that this is important for you. So right off the bat, the month of February of 2020 for you is going to be a month where truth above everything matters most. Now, to me, when I see speak truth with Ascension, I see this truth as an important part of your ascension. In order to elevate, in order to rise, in order to transform and move forward into the next chapter of your cosmic quest, it's important that you are open and you are honest, not just with yourself, but with the people around you. Very Ace of Swords energy here. And we see this sword with this radiant light around it. And to me, I very much get the sense of staking your claim. You have placed this sword deep into the earth. And you are saying, this is the truth. This is my area. This is my, marking my territory on what belongs to me. The truths that belong to me. And you are radiating that truth to others. This could be to family, to friends, to coworkers. Regardless of who it is that you're communicating this truth to, It is a requirement to seek this truth and to speak this truth in order for you to ascend. When we look at the Ascension card, and I realize sometimes these cards get a bit of a glare, which is why I kind of shift them like this for you so you can really see the detail on them. When we look at this card of Ascension, we have a woman's hand and wings sprouting from her hands. Very much a sense of you becoming your own angel, you becoming your own prophet, if you will. You are guiding yourself to a higher level. Your hand has sprouted wings, and you are in control of this ascension. You are in control of this movement towards the next step of your own destiny. But truth has to be spoken in order to get to this place. These can be uncomfortable truths. I think the first step here, because we have one sword here. The first step is to be honest with yourself in the month of February about what it is that you want and what it is that you don't want, who it is that you need in your life and who it is that you do not need in your life. And with this truth, sharp or dull, whichever way you choose to deliver the truth to yourself or to others, this truth will be the blade that you use to cut things out of your life that no longer serve you, but to also carve out a place in your life, to carve out this place within the earth for you to manifest what it is that you want in your life, what it is that you feel is the next stage of your ascension, be it spiritual, material, mental, whatever, emotional. In order for you to move forward, you're speaking truth to yourself and to others about what you want, and then you're carving a place for those things, for that truth to build momentum and to help you to ascend. Very, very beautiful cards there. Let's see what else we have for you for February. Please give me a message for pile number 1 for February of 2020, please. Please give me a message for pile number 1 for February of 2020. I had to film downstairs today, so you might hear some road traffic, which I try very, very hard. If you can't tell yet, I am quite obsessive compulsive about things and how I present things on this channel. A character strength and a character fault all at once. So pardon any road noise that you might hear. I'm filming in a different place in my house today, so it makes it a little bit louder down here, but it had to be done. I really felt compelled to get this message out to you today. So give me one message, please, for pile number 1 for February of 2020, please. Okay. Big picture thinking, inspired ideas, becoming a visionary. What else do we have? Okay. Okay, I see what's going on here. So to me, these cards are better served like this. And when we start to speak truth, we have this card of the 7 star sisters, birthing creations, the tapestry of life, expression. Unless your work could be related to communications in some sort, your life purpose related to communications in the communications industry, I very much see this as speaking something into creation. This could be in the form of affirmations that you're telling yourself every day. I am strong, I am powerful, I can do anything, I can achieve anything in my life. But to me, this also reads as, in order to manifest, you have to ask the question, right? A lot of people in their path to ascension, or in their paths in general, they fail to ascend because they fail to even ask the question of what it is that they want in their life. They go through the motions of this repetitive cycle in their lives to the point where they don't even ask anymore, what is it that I want? What is it that I am aiming for? What is the big picture? What is my vision? What is my inspired idea? You have to ask the question in the month of February. When we manifest, even when we look at the card of, let's say, the Magician in the tarot, the Magician asks us, what idea do you want planted in your brain? What is it that you want to work towards? You have to tell the Magician, in order for them to mix all those tools up for you and allow you to embark onto the world to make what it is that you speak into an actual creation. So if you want to focus on love in February, if you want to focus on family, on friendships, you have to speak that truth into the world. You have to first acknowledge internally and maybe even externally as a prayer that you have this thing that you want to birth into the world. It starts by speaking it into existence. And that is what creates this change. And I feel like this thing, because we have the card of ascension here, and we also have the card of big picture thinking, you're going into February with this idea that no more small potatoes. I just heard that, okay? You're thinking about the ideas, the vision, the purpose for moving forward in any particular direction, whatever direction it is that you choose, okay? You are thinking about a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. Where is it that you want to be in the long haul? And you're speaking the truth to yourself about where it is that you're stuck right now and where it is that you need to become unstuck in order to get to this big picture. You're bringing to life something that is more than just, I want to lose 2 pounds. You're thinking about the big, long game here. Let's see what else we can pull from you. Let's go into the tarot. See if we can get some messages for you in regards to this for February. The King of Wands, okay. That is a very good card to get here. What else do we have, please? For pile number 1, please. What else do we have for pile number 1, please? This one wants to come out. The Knight of Swords, okay. I see where you're going with this, universe. Oftentimes I find that I hate delivering the same information for the same group, but remember the question that it is that we're asking. What is the main theme for the month, right? So it makes sense. It actually serves as an incredible confirmation if we get cards that are repetitive, because it's just reinforcing the same message, okay? So we have the King of Wands, a new passion, birthing a creation, embracing your King of Wands energy. You could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, but you're looking up to the universe and you're saying with staff in hand, that's what I'm passionate about. That thing off in the distance, it could even be as far as on another planet. That's how distant this goal might feel to you. This transition into your ascension might feel to you. But even still, you are having the courage, the passion, the courage of conviction to say that thing in the distance, I want that. I want it passionately. I feel it simmering in my soul, how deeply connected I want that thing. Look at the way he's looking up into the galaxy, into all the things that are available for him to create. This isn't gender specific. You could be a man or a woman, but just the overall energy that's represented on the card. The Knight of Swords. So you're moving aggressively into this phase. You're moving quickly into this ascension. Air energy here, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But even with the Knight of Swords, this very much to me speaks of speaking truth, because swords are mental energy. So with this sword, with this truth, we are rushing not just to uncover what our truth is, but to uncover, but to speak it, right? To feed it. And this woman, with her sword, with her truth, is looking down into this cosmic pit of magic. And she's saying, what is my truth? And how do I get to here? Do I jump? She's pondering the question. How do I get to this quickly? So definitely this card of speaking truth and the Knight of Swords really resonates well together. Let's see what else we have. The Knight of Wands. So I definitely see that because this is such a pivotal moment, this is such an important truth that you want to rush in. You have two knights here. You have two movements of quick action where you're not just aligning your mind, but you're aligning your emotions as well to get towards this goal, right? My only warning here would be, don't burn yourself out. And also remember that success in anything, whether it's ascension or any kind of earthly related goal, success is obtained by consistency, not by rushing in, right? Not by rushing out, but by remaining stable and consistent throughout the process. So with these knights, I definitely see your enthusiasm to make a shift, to make a change for your ascension, to move towards this bigger picture. You just have to make sure that you are being consistent with the action. If you devote 2 weeks, you give 150% to a 10-week goal, and then you fizzle out, you're not going to achieve success in whatever area of your life it is that you're looking for. So patience is key. Taking methodical steps that you're blending your passion and logic in order to see this to fruition. Yeah, the Two of Wands, trying to make a decision on which direction you should go. And I think that when you speak this truth to yourself, even just sitting with yourself and asking yourself some questions about how would I feel if my life stayed the same in 5 years? How would I feel, posing these types of questions that kind of dig this truth out from you. You're trying to decide which direction it is that you should go in order to make this become a fruition. And the Two of Wands, it sits right in the middle between truth and ascension. So this decision is kind of nudged in between here. The decision has to be made on what the truth is and getting there, actually ascending. The decision is stuck between the two. What else do we have? The Five of Wands. So you could, again, there is a lot of fire energy here in this spread. So you could be an Aries, Leo, or a Sagittarius. But you could have a lot of internal conflict here with this decision. There is a lot of internal conflict on what this big picture is. You might feel exhausted at the thought of, trying to figure out what it is that you want. You might feel like you're that far down the rabbit hole that you're questioning your life and you're saying, what is it that I even want anymore? I also see the possibility here of conflict with others when you make this decision. And that could be one of the factors that is weighing on which direction to go. Because you know that this road, this truth, ripping this verbal bandage off, will lead to some conflict in your life, not just within you, but with other people. I do feel mostly, though, that this is internal, because if you look at her, she's kind of battling with her own cosmic self here in a very meditative state. So I definitely feel like the conflict comes from making this decision and knowing that it's time to do that. You know, it's time to stop saying tomorrow, tomorrow, next week. The time is now to do these things. Okay, so right under Ascension, we have the Starseed. Starting over, a new beginning, a rebirth. Taking all of these truths from the past, finding what it is that fiery passion that you are looking out into the universe, into the void for, that you've singled out, that you've plucked from the stars, and taking that and running with it, very much running with it, feeling reborn. I can't tell you how, because obviously you can't sense the feeling that I get from the cards here, but such an incredible sense of peace from this card. So if you have this conflict, if you're kind of nervous about whether or not this is the right move because you're stuck in this Two of Wands still, you're still trying to make a decision, know that once you get past this conflict, there is peace. There is this feeling that everything is tied together, that you are on the right path, that you are following your divine destiny with this Four of Wands, the 1111 card. This could be a matter of family. You could be speaking truth in regards to family, because the Four of Wands often speaks of higher levels of commitment. It speaks of family. It speaks of a recognition in the town square of a union. So you could be speaking truth and starting new after making a decision with a lot of conflict with somebody in your life, to start over on this quest of this Four of Wands. So you feel like it is your destiny. And you might see a lot of synchronicities at this time with this kind of 1111 card. You might look at the clock and notice that it's 1111. You might see a lot of things that you feel like are signs, the moon, the stars. You might find yourself kind of gazing into the sky a little bit more often than you normally do. The cycles of the moon could be something that you're considering when making this decision. But this decision is absolutely leading you to where you are destined to be. And the fact that you're even questioning, the fact that you're asking yourself the question, that in and of itself is speaking a truth to you. If you even have to ask, am I happy here? Would I be happier somewhere else? Would I be happier in a different job? Would I be happier with a different relationship? That in and of itself might tell you that there is something wrong. This path, I very much feel like it's not just about any one thing. It's a lot about your spiritual journey. It's a lot about this feeling of letting go of the past, letting go of repetitive cycles, letting go of this conflict, choosing to do that, choosing to be born again, and to let go of past hurts in order to kind of cleanse your spirit and ascend. It's necessary to rush out of a situation, to let go, to be kind of born again, and to follow a new path to destiny. This new ascension, this big picture thinking, no longer wasting our energy on the things, the tasks, the relationships, the jobs that aren't serving that higher calling, the end game. Okay, let's see what oracle cards we can get. Oh, okay, these flopped out. So we have the Seas of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconscious to light. I mean, again, just a reiteration of what it is that we've been talking about. Speaking it into the universe, bringing this spiritual, unconscious learning, this truth, this revelation to light, and birthing it and actually creating something from the truth that you receive. This is really nice energy. And then you have You're Not Alone. Isolation, physical connection, and community. So you definitely could be relying on friends and family, people that you consider your family, in order to make this change happen? Maybe you're asking them, you know, what is it that you feel like I need to change? Or, you know, I've noticed that I want a new job. You know, do you know of anybody that's hiring right now that can get me into a better position so that I can make this ascension? You could even be getting either some form of counseling, or you could be getting some kind of spiritual advice from a priest or a pastor or a shaman, who, you know, whatever it is that you practice. You're not alone. And I feel too, I'm going to say this because it came to me. I think this decision, the reason that it weighs so heavy on you, that you have all this conflict, is because you feel like if you speak this truth, people might abandon you. You might cut people out of your life that you very much want in your life. And the universe is telling you here that you're protected. Your angels are here. You will be born anew. And for this journey, trust and believe that even if you are alone, right? Look at this woman. She's the only one on the card, but does she look alone to you? To me, this rebirth, this ascension, she looks complete. She looks like, even if she doesn't have anybody, even if she's lost people because of this new path towards your bigger picture, towards your destiny, she looks whole. So even when you might not have the physical people in your life, this new version of yourself is enough. You are not alone. You've got the universe protecting you. You've got your guides by your side. And just stand strong in knowing that you're being guided to make this shift right now. Let's get 2 more cards on this spread for you. 2 more cards, please. 2 more cards, please. What guidance do I need to deliver to anyone that has picked deck number 1, please? Flower number 1. What guidance can you give me, please? Ooh. Let's see here. Perfect. 2 cards. Protection. Okay. Again, and then dance with life. So do something to change your energy. You could be meditating. You could be literally dancing. You know, dancing could be something that you felt so connected to when you were young, and now you're reconnecting with that. To me, this says, don't be afraid to be playful, to be in a playful spirit, in a playful mood. It lands on this "you're not alone" card, and this very much is a partnership here on this card. This person is not dancing alone. You could even be dancing with the universe. You feel that connected, you know, but you're doing something to change your energy. If you're in a rut, I don't know why I'm being told to say this, but I generally don't give like health advice or anything like that on this channel. But I'm being told that some of you need to walk. 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day. Put on some headphones and go for a walk. Get your blood pumping, get your energy moving, even if it's just a walk. And this truth might actually come to you on this walk. And then you have protection here. Very much, like I said, this gave me Ace of Swords energy. And you have the Knight of Swords as well. Call back your power, cut the cords, and soul retrieval. You are speaking truth, and you're cutting the cord with the lies that you've told yourself about who you are, about what you can be, about what you look like, about, you know, what people think of you. You're cutting the cords on those old patterns of thinking and those old patterns of speaking to yourself. But you're also taking your power back. Remember when I said you're cutting things out with this sword, but you're also carving a place in the earth for these new things to grow with this sword? That is, when you cut the cord, you call your power back. When you cut with this truth, when you are honest with yourself, with the people around you, you get your power back. I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but this really came up for some reason. I don't know how involved you guys are in the YouTube community, but there's a channel, a woman that does makeup by the name of Nikki Tutorials, and for some reason, there might be something about her journey right now that you might that might resonate with you. Because I very much got this feeling of almost like blackmail, emotional blackmail. Somebody knows a secret about you, and they're using that in order to manipulate you, to get you to do what they want, to do their bidding. That I recognize that's could be a very few group of you, but I'm being called to deliver that message. Sometimes the secrets that we hold, because we're holding them, that does more damage to us than actually speaking the truth and just ripping the Band-Aid off and airing your dirty laundry. You could even be coming out. That could be your ascension, where you're saying, I'm gonna live in my truth now, and I'm taking my power back. And these people that know my secret, they're not going to be able to control me anymore with that. Again, I recognize that will only resonate for a few of you, but the message is there, so I'm going to deliver it. Let's get one oracle for you for February, and then we will call it a day on this reading. One more, please. What kind of advice can you give me for group number 1? Okay. Lost and found. Man, this reading is powerful. What was once lost is about to be found. Thanks to the lost and found fairy. Sometimes she can help us find things we never even realized or lost. What you've lost is a truth. And when you find it, you are going to be transformed by this. And you're going to ascend. Wow, that's a great reading. I also want to mention too that you are protected in this journey. You are protected, not just by yourself, but by your angels. You have a group that is protecting you. You have a community that is protecting you, whether you feel it or not. There's people that are working on your behalf, and they're helping you find, what was lost, and then move towards that truth. So that is your reading, flower number 1. If you picked this deck and it resonated with you, please let me know down below. And again, if you liked the reading, please thumbs the video up because it really helps the channel. I hope that this resonated. I hope that you find this truth and this inner peace and this rebirth in the month of February. If this is where I leave you, I thank you so much for watching this channel. I know that I say this all the time, but I recognize that there's a gazillion tarot channels on YouTube. And I'm so glad that you joined me here today. Your time is valuable to me, and I appreciate you giving me a little slice of it. So, with that said, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Alrighty, if you picked flower number 2, then this is the reading for you on what you can expect in the month of February 2020. Let's get started. So I'd like to begin by pulling a card or 2 from the Threads of Fate Oracle deck to get a general idea of what the overall energy will be for you for the month of February 2020. This will be the energy that is going to anchor the entire reading. So let's see. Pile number 2, please. What is the overall theme for the month of February 2020, please? Pile number 2. What is the overall theme for the month of February 2020, please? Pile number 2. What is the overall energy for the month of February 2020, please? Pile number 2. What is the overall energy, please, for the month of February 2020? Pile. Okay. Reflect and destruction. Okay. So flower number 2, if you have picked this flower, your overall energy for the month of February is one of reflection. I get the Hermit card here, and one of destruction, which is an interesting combination. In the month of February 2020, you are taking some time to dig deep into your subconscious, to reflect on what it is that you have accomplished in life, what it is that you feel that you have and that you don't have in life, and what it is that needs to be destroyed. This is Tower card energy here in this deck. And when you look at this card, you kind of get two images, one of two birds looking straight at each other, and one of two eyes at the center of the deck, kind of like you looking through a prism, looking out into the world. So this reflection, this moment of introspection, this time that you are taking to dig deep and to ask yourself important questions about your path, about your journey, about your purpose, it is going to lead to the destruction of something, or a tower moment has occurred that leaves you in this state of reflection. I get the sense here that it might actually be the opposite. So you are reflecting, and this reflection is what causes this destruction. What is it in my life that I can cut out? What is it in my life that is built on a shaky foundation? What is it in my life that I can destroy in order to evolve? In order to kind of break myself into these separate pieces. The duality of these cards can't be understated. It's the same imagery of birds that look like they are both one, and they're staring at each other, right? They're two sides, but also they are one, looking outward into the world. So I get this feeling that your reflection, when you look internally, when you look yourself in the eye, that is going to be the catalyst of looking outward into the world, of looking at what it is that needs to be destroyed. This could also, if you've been in hermit mode, if you've been kind of a recluse and keeping to yourself, the universe is shaking some things up for you in the month of February. Because it's time to get out of this hermit, hangman type of energy. And it's time to take action. Something needs to be destroyed. Let's see where this is going. Please give me some oracle cards on reflect and destruction, please. Clarify the meaning of these two cards for pile number 2 for the month of February 2020, please. Please clarify reflect and destruction. Okay. 3 cards. We have the Cosmic Heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. We have lifting the veil, questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. And we have activated earth. Ooh, okay. Falling very much in line with these 2 cards. Power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. So, in the month of February, you are listening to your own prayers. You are taking this moment of reflection, listening to your inner guidance. And you are reflecting on what it is that you are trying to manifest into the world. And you're trying to decide how it is that you will come to take action on these dreams. This destruction isn't just about collapsing things. It's about building new things in its place. So you're figuring out, how is it that I'm going to turn my life into a living prayer, a moving prayer in the month of February? You're lifting the veil with this reflection, and you could be doing it somewhat violently. And when I say that, I don't mean physically violent. I mean a jolt to the spirit, a jolt to what you consider your everyday routine. People are going to look at you when you lift the veil, when you begin to question in this period of reflection, and you are going to destroy anything that is unaligned. You are lifting the veil and you are saying, see me now for who I am. You're going to see your own life for what it is in the month of February. And anything that is unaligned with your cosmic heart, with what you feel devoted to, with what feels potent in your life, you are destroying that thing. You could be a Scorpio as well with the destruction card, because it's very Tower energy. But you are lifting the veil. No more lies, right? No more living in lies. You can't fix things if you don't acknowledge the place that they're in order to move them forward. And then you have the card of Activated Earth, which to me speaks of action. This says power places, ley lines, and trust where you're led. When you experience this tower, whether you create it for yourself or the universe hands it to you and says it's time to lift the veil because you're not living in truth right now, you will feel activated. You will feel this pulse of energy in your chest that says it's time to move. It's time to go. And you will trust where you are led, because you will see that this change, this destruction, it is a part of your prayers. It is something that you have asked for. It is a prayer come to life. Now moving, now taking action, now turning, ascending, with the beautiful imagery on this Activated Earth card. Very, very interesting energy here. Let's see what the tarot has to say about this spread. Please give me some cards here for pile number 2. Please clarify, please, for pile number 2 for the month of February 2020. Okay. So we have the Five of Cups. Feeling a sense of disappointment, of regret. Reflecting on what it is that we feel that we've lost in our lives. This dimly lit path where all these emotions stand like statues in our path. The places that we've been, the people that we've known. This gloomy moonlight kind of falling over our experiences, and feeling a sense of regret or remorse for the time spent devoted to things that never came to fruition, to cups that spilled over. I always tell people with this card, with the Five of Cups, remember that there might be a cup spilled. In this particular deck, it's one cup that has spilled. But there are 4 other cups here available for you to walk towards and to pick up on your path. So there is a certain loss, a certain regret that you're moving away from. But the first act that you have to do is to reflect on that, to identify it, to lift the veil, to understand what this loss is in your life, what this regret is. Perhaps you've devoted yourself to something heart wide open, heart chakra wide open, willing to get hurt in order to experience something, love, adventure, and it didn't pan out the way that you had hoped. And now you're lifting the veil on that. You're reflecting, you're opening up the truth. And anything that is unaligned, any cup that has spilled, you understand that that must go, that you must move forward and leave this cup in the past. And so you're destroying that cup. You're destroying any devotion that you have towards something that isn't leading you to your purpose, to your highest self, to love, to abundance, to a greater grounding with nature, with the way that the world works. And I mean that in a mystical sense. Spiritually reconnecting. So the Ten of Cups, this certainly could have been a situation in a family environment that you feel regret and remorse over, that you feel needs to be destroyed. You're finally reflecting and you're seeing the truth of the situation for what it is. And you understand that even though this thing has reached the 10, it might be time for a new cycle to begin. And you have that new cycle here with the Page of Wands. This infant stage of passion. These messages that you are revealing for yourself of what it is, what direction you want to go, what portal it is next that you want to walk through. I sense some hesitancy here and some nervousness about making this shift. Because you're leaving something behind that even if it doesn't serve you, you feel very much emotionally attached to. Even the things that hurt us the most in life, in fact, the things that do in fact hurt us the most in life are the things that stick with us the longest. Isn't it funny how the human, the mind, it so easily holds on to these moments that hurt us in the long run. Even though they teach us a lesson, we hold on to the pain of them for too long. And I feel like very much this is you releasing that finally and saying, I've learned the lesson from this, even if I did put all of this work to get to a 10 with this particular situation. I've learned the lesson that I needed to learn. I'm taking the relevant cups with me, and I'm leaving everything else behind. The things that are not aligned with you must go. So you're taking the lesson, that one thing, the one takeaway with you on your new journey through that new portal, through this new passionate pursuit. And you're leaving the things that don't serve you in the past. I get this feeling of shame. Like maybe, perhaps you've made some mistakes and that is what you're regretting. And that is what you're reflecting on. And you're finally lifting the veil on the understanding, the knowing that you can't stay in this place of sadness forever. This shame, this burden that you are almost forcing yourself to live with, it's time to let that go. No one is meant to suffer as long as you've made yourself suffer here. And I get this shame around not just mistakes, but self-worth. Letting go of things in your own self-worth that you feel are no longer serving you. They're holding you back. If you, for example, let's say you put on a little bit of weight, and this is just for example's sake, and that weight gain has stopped you from going out and exploring opportunities because you don't want people to see you in your current state. You don't want to run into that soulmate that you had from high school and him see what you've become. You have a certain shame around this. You have regrets about the path that you've taken. And this reflection, okay, bear with me here. there's a lot of messages coming in. This reflection, in and of itself, needs to be destroyed. The way that you reflect on the things that you have and have not done in your life, of where you are and where you want to be, of who you feel like you are, and who that kind of like dream version of yourself is in the future, the way that you're reflecting on that needs to be destroyed. There has to be a shift in your thinking here. And in February, you're lifting the veil. And what I mean by that, just to be clear, is with the example of the weight, for example. I know that's such a basic, materialistic, earthly concern, but it's just for example's sake to illustrate the message. If you tell yourself every day, I'm disgusting, I'm fat, I'm gross, I can't even stand to look at myself, that shame that you are constantly perpetuating onto yourself. Maybe if I tell myself I'm fat enough times, I'm overweight, I'm ugly, I'm not as good looking as other girls on Instagram, or if you keep pushing yourself, that's not the proper motivation to get you to shift. That shift comes not from shaming yourself into action, but from loving yourself into action. You are destroying the way in which you reflect on your life and the changes that you need to make within your life. And you're trusting that you are where you are now because that is where you are meant to be in order to move forward. You never know in life the things that you don't want until you have them. Isn't it funny how that always works? Right? It isn't until you're in a relationship with somebody that you love and they treat you poorly, or they don't show you love in a specific type of way, that you realize, wow, I really don't like this, right? Things can look so beautiful, especially in this Instagram filtered world that we live in, on the outside. And then once you finally have something, once you hold it in your hand and you see how that makes you feel, how that thing affects your life, that's when you really gain an understanding of if that thing is meant for you or not. And so you're destroying, or the universe is destroying for you, the way that you try to motivate yourself into change. This spread to me is saying no more shaming yourself. That is not how you are going to make lasting change. That is not a direction that is aligned with your purpose, with your path. And so you're learning to activate back in almost like your natural state, this activated earth. You're learning to activate this sense of purpose, right? To make your life a moving prayer by activating a new form of reflection, a new way of speaking to yourself. When you pray, whether you pray to God or the universe, or you just say something as simple as a birthday wish, an affirmation, those are all prayers, right? When you pray, let's say you pray to a God, you don't pray by saying, God, you're so inadequate. You don't say those things to God. You say those things, you say positive things, like, I know you're powerful, I know you're looking out for me, universe, God, Allah, whatever it is that you believe in. You come to that prayer with a positive mindset. And this reflection, this way that you have had of speaking to yourself, it's coming from a completely dark place. It's coming from a place that is very shadow, that is very low vibrational. And so it's time to examine how it is that you reflect on yourself, on your spirit, on who you are and what you want, and destroy the crippling self-doubt, the negative self-talk
that you show yourself, that you say to yourself, that you communicate to yourself, because it's not working for you anymore. It's not aligned with your path. If you're looking in the mirror and saying, you're so overweight, you're disgusting, that is not going to get you into the gym. That is not going to make you eat better. In fact, it's doing the opposite. Your reflection is standing in your way. Your form of communicating with yourself is a barrier. It is a barrier to forward movement. And I very much feel like this is a matter of self-love, of really almost like apologizing to yourself and saying, look, we've had a good ride. Regret, you've served me to protect me as far as you've needed to. Remorse, disappointment. We've been in this relationship though for too long. We've reached the 10 of Cups, and I can't take you with me any further on this journey. It's almost like you've been married to this disappointment. And it's time to birth something new. It's time to reignite the spark that you have with yourself. To become passionate, back at step 1. And that starts with destroying how it is that you reflect on your person, on who you are, on how you interact with the world. I very much get this feeling like it's almost like a pit in my stomach. I don't want to be dramatic, but I feel like you're almost spiritually attacking yourself here with your limiting things that you might be saying to yourself. This could be a very good time to work on affirmations. I have a channel called the Stardust Tribe. If you just look up the Stardust Tribe on the YouTube search, you'll see it, and it's all audio manifestations and, releasing negative thought patterns that might be of use to you. I'm not trying to shamelessly self-promote there, but there could be something there that could be of value to you, to listen to those messages and kind of build yourself up. And I mean, we see that here with the next card, the 9 of Pentacles, the 9 of Crystals, the card of independence, of self-worth. The first thing that always comes to my mind when I see this card is self-worth, confidence, achieving not so much. I don't feel like this is material abundance. I feel like this is self-love. Getting back in touch with yourself and loving yourself. The way that you speak to yourself, the independence that you feel, your value, your own self-worth. You're embarking on a passionate journey to love yourself again, to boost your confidence again. And that starts with destroying the things that you have said to yourself negatively that are stopping you from turning your life into this moving prayer. Once you lift the veil on this, you will get this forward motion. You will move forward. And it's funny because you have the Chariot here. This horse, the expression, it's like, I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. Right? I'm leaving the past in the past. This shame, this regret, this almost, I don't want to say depression. I don't feel like it's that deep here, but definitely this feeling of loss of the self that is affecting your life. And it's funny because it's like, what are you moving towards with this Chariot? You're kicking dust up. What are you rushing towards? You're rushing to walk away. You're rushing to walk away. And look at how these cards are laid out, because I definitely don't feel like this is a coincidence by any stretch. You started your reading with the Five of Cups, and the last tarot card here is the Eight of Cups. You're walking towards letting go, turning your back on this energy here. So you're ascending, and you're doing it quickly. You're kicking dust up, right? You're moving at a very, very quick speed here. I apologize for the noise. I'm filming in a different location today. I'm filming downstairs because I'm working on my office upstairs. So if you hear that road noise, I'm so sorry. It's not, you don't usually hear that in my readings. I'm very OCD, if you can't tell, about how I do readings here on this channel, but we're just gonna work through it today. You are moving from the 5 to the 8. Once you let go, once you release the things that are no longer aligned, which falls right in the middle of your spread between the past and the future, once you let go of that, you reach the 9 of Cups. You will feel emotionally, independently in love with yourself. Like this woman here in the 9 of Pentacles. So in February of 2020, you are absolutely exploring self-worth, negative self-talk, and you're leaving that in the past. You recognize that this disappointment might have served you at one point. This shame, acknowledging these feelings, but you can't stay trapped in that. You're lifting the veil. And you're moving into this place where you're leaving these cups behind. You're leaving these emotions behind. Because there is a beautiful cosmic world out there that is waiting for you to take it. There is stability in the future, emotional stability. The 9th cup is there, where you will travel on your chariot. And you will get that 9th cup. But you have to leave all of this behind. You have to leave this in the past. Lift the veil. Destroy any thought that is not aligned with this woman right here. Okay? Let's see what we have for you with the Work Your Light Oracle. What messages does pile number 2, flower number 2 need to hear for February 2020, please? What messages will help them heal this in February of 2020, please? What messages? Okay. We have, you're already doing it. Oh my goodness. Stop overthinking and keep facing your true north. Stop overthinking. Stop this over-reflecting on everything that has gone wrong in the past. Keep facing your true north. Get on your chariot. It's time to go. You need to move forward. And this is saying, get out of your brain and move forward courageously. Let these cups go. This shame, this disappointment, this sorrow doesn't serve you anymore. It's time to move to your true north, because this is not where you are destined to be. This energy here, you are destined to move forward into this light, into this cosmic space here. Leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. Have faith. Jump. It's time. Your reservations, the reservations that you've built up in your mind, because of this negative self-talk, perhaps the only way to destroy those is by just taking action. Not thinking about it, just taking action. If you feel like you need to lose some weight, It's not time to think about it anymore. You get to the gym right now. You know, stop the reading, get up and go for a walk. Do some push-ups. It's time. And once you take that step, once you take that leap, even though you know that there's all this stuff in the distance that could be a burden, that could be an obstacle, the universe will catch you where you feel like you can't catch yourself. And there's something very interesting about this card too. When she takes that leap, she's leaving her shadow self. And I think that could not be any more representative of what's going on in this spread. When you take this leap, you will leave this dark shadow version of yourself that you've been stuck inside of. It's time to let this shadow go. It's like that Florence and the Machine song. This is twice now that I've gotten a Florence and the Machine song during a reading. It's interesting. There's a song that she has where she says, she talks about shaking the devil off your back. You can't move forward without shaking the devil off your back. Honestly, go listen to that song. I'm going to try to find what that song is for you, and I'm going to leave it in the description down below. Because for some reason, I feel like that will really, really, really resonate with some of you. So if I don't leave it, leave me a comment if I forget and say, hey girl, you forgot to put this in. Because I feel like listening to that song, you were almost meant to hear that song. That's like your mantra for the month of February, is that song. Shaking the devil off your back. Last oracle that we have here is, where are you being called to journey to? Again, forward movement. Where is it that you're being called to pull your chariot? It's away from this shadow. It's away from this negative space, this negative headspace. Looks like I forgot to kind of go through some of the energy here. So we have a lot of water energy with the cups. Some fire here, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Earth, we have Cancer prominently. And again, more water energy. So you could be I said too, this could be a Scorpio because of the Destruction Tarot card, so that would fall in line with the water energy, and Virgo with this earth energy. If you're not one of those signs, that's fine, but it might resonate extra with you if you are one of those signs. Last card we'll pull for you is some advice. Give me some advice, please, for pile number 2 for the month of February 2020, please. What advice does pile number 2 need for their journey? Give me some advice, please, for pile number 2. New beginnings. The fairy godmother heralds the joyous news of a new baby or the birth of a cherished idea. Protect and nurture your ideas as you would a baby. So I definitely feel like this card speaks to mothering yourself, that Nine of Pentacles energy. Mothering yourself, protecting yourself like you would a newborn child, because in many aspects, you are being reborn here. You're destroying something deep within you. So you're being told to cradle that, to protect that, like you would a child. I feel like that, somebody heard that just now and it really sunk deep into the emotions. It's so often that we as adults forget that we're human. We forget that we are human beings, and we look at children, the way that we interact with children, the way that we speak to children. Even the way that we speak to children is a very different way than we speak to adults. We usually make a cutesy sound when we talk to children. We use smaller words, right? You don't come out just being mean to a child. You are the baby here. It doesn't matter how old you are still a child. You will always be a child. You need to love and cherish yourself like you are a child. I feel like that is such a great place to end this reading. Cherish yourself like you are a child. Handle yourself with these kid gloves, you know? It doesn't matter how old you are, you're still human. You know, you're still growing, you need to protect yourself, your self-esteem, like you would a child. Instead of kind of manhandling a child like you've been manhandling yourself here a little bit in your self-talk, in the way that you've been reflecting on your self-image. When you are reborn with this destruction, when you've laid waste to these ideas, you'll feel as new as a child. And you'll need to protect that to keep this momentum, this chariot energy. You'll need to protect yourself like a baby. I love that. I think we'll leave it there. I hope this reading resonated with you. If it did, please let me know down in the comments below. Again, if you feel moved by this, if you liked the reading, if you could give the video a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. It helps the channel. And of course, subscription is always optional, but I would love to have you here as a subscriber. So with that said, I hope that you enjoyed the reading and that I see you again. I have tons of other videos here on the channel. If you want to peruse those, I'll put some up here somewhere so that you can take a look. If this is where I leave you, I thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Thanks again. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome. If you picked flower number 3, then this is the reading for you on what you can expect in February 2020. Let's get started. So I'd like to begin by pulling a Threads of Fate Oracle, 1 or 2 cards, to see what the overall arching energy will be for you for the month. Please give me 1 or 2 cards of guidance, please, for flower number 3 on what they can expect in February 2020, please. What is the overarching theme for flower number 3 for what they can expect in February of 2020, please? What is the overall energy for flower number 3 for what they can expect in February of 2020? All right, we've got a couple of cards here. Let's take a look. The Weaver, the Pillar, the Void. Okay, interesting. Okay. So here is the major energy that is going to be influencing you in February of 2020, flower number 3. We start here with the Weaver. And if we look at the imagery on this card, there is a sword trapped in almost like a cat's cradle in between these fingers. And the Weaver to me speaks of somebody who is manifesting and putting action behind that manifestation. This is a dreamer. This is a dreamer who has moved into the stage of doing. I see this energy not just as an energy of clarity and of truth, but an affirmation that you are in charge of your destiny. No matter how sharp the twists and turns of your life might take you, you are in control of that sword. You are the master of that sword. You can choose what you do with this sword. Moving into the Pillar, I see you are weaving foundations. You are weaving portals. You are weaving the groundwork for what it is that you are trying to manifest in February of 2020. And we have the card of the void here as well. To me, the void speaks of infinite possibilities, a portal into the unknown, into the universe. Sometimes we often say, things like staring into the void. In this particular spread, I feel very strongly that you in the month of February are working to weave solid foundations for the things that you have looked out into the universe and decided that you want to draw into you. All of these stars, all of this cosmic dust that is responsible for the creation of everything that we have here on this earth. You know that all of these things are out there for you, that they're possible. And you are working in the month of February to weave the foundation, the portal, the pillar, in order to bring these things in. When we wish for something, when we stare out into the void, when we say, I want this to come to me, as we wait for our ships to come in, we have to make sure that when we make a wish, that we're making space for the wish that we are asking for. And to me, this speaks of making that space and taking action to ensure a very stable foundation, an immovable foundation, a foundation that is forged in fire that cannot be shaken, in order to bring the void closer to you, in order to bring every majestic thing that it is that you wish and that you dream of in this outer space into your inner realm. That is quite beautiful. Okay, let's see where this is going. What can you tell me about these oracle cards? Clarify these oracle cards, please, for pile number 3 for the month of February of 2020, please. Please give us guidance on these oracle cards for February of 2020 for flower number 3, please. I'm filming in a different location today, so I apologize if you hear some road noise. I really wanted to get this message out. I felt really compelled to do this reading, so we are just going to push along even though that's going on. If you've seen the other videos on this channel, I very much try to be somewhat of a perfectionist when it comes to presentation and audio and, having good camera quality, but sometimes you just got to go with the flow. Please clarify these oracle cards for flower number 3, please. Give us some guidance for flower number 3. Okay. Give us some guidance, please. One more card, please. One more card, please, for pile number 3. Thank you. Okay. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I'm going to pull what was at the bottom of this card because I feel like it's relevant to the reading. It just stood out to me. I'm going to take it. I'm going with it. Speaking of going with the flow. Okay, so you've pulled the Courageous Peony. Sorry about that. You've pulled the Courageous Peony. Multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen. So moving on with this flower theme, even this woman's dress in this card looks like a flower. I think that's really special. You've also pulled the portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards and wild card. Look at how beautiful this portal card is in this deck. And you've pulled the card of Empathic Starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. Okay, so you are wielding your sword in the month of February. You are accepting the truth, a long fought for truth. You have been bruised and broken, pile number 3. And through that breakage, through these cuts that you've endured in life, you've learned about the world, about the universe, about yourself. And that these struggles have given you the courage and the understanding that you are in charge of your own destiny. You now have the courage to face your future. You have the courage to face your nature, and you're not shy about letting that be seen. And when I say be seen, sure, other people might notice this energy on you in the month of February, this kind of take charge, take no prisoners, what's the word that I'm looking for? Uncompromising on your principles, on your dreams, on your beliefs. They might see that in you, but the most important thing is that you see it now in yourself. You understand you are the weaver. You understand that you can take every wish that you've made and that you can bring that into life. You can weave your web around this truth. On top of the pillar, the foundation that you're building, that you now have the courage to see and to walk through, you have portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards and wild card. You are embracing this courage in February to open the door and to decide to actually walk through. Now, this portal, what's on the other side of that? It is beautiful. This aurora of color, this psychedelic rainbow that is just beyond this door, this portal. But who's to say what will be on the other side when you walk through? You can't see what is on the other side. But in February, you are taking the courage to walk through the portal because you know your foundation is strong now. You've been forged in fire with your life experiences, and you know that the door is open. All you have to do is decide to jump and reap the rewards. Your foundation is strong enough. You decide if you want to jump through that portal. Now, on top of the void, we have empathic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. There's two feelings that I'm getting from this card. The first is that you understand your power. You understand that you can literally put your hand through glass to access another realm, and I don't mean that just spiritually, I mean that physically as well. You know, if you have a job that you're really, you've got your eye on, you understand that you can reach through any barrier and you can grab that and bring it into this plane. Anything that is beyond the mirror, anything that is beyond the knowing, you can bring towards you. You can see that here in this card. Her dress, again, looking like a flower, helping her to levitate, to stand in front of this mirror, to break through that plane and to bring back anything that she desires. So you're having the courage and the understanding that I am a weaver. You could feel incredibly connected to your own power in February. Incredibly connected to how much inner strength you have inside of you that I don't think that on the surface people realize. And that's why we have let yourself be seen. Because when you show this strength, people are going to be like, where did that come from? And internally, you're going to know, you have no idea how much strength I have inside of me. You know that you are strong. So when you walk through this portal and people feel this new energy, they're like, wow, who are you, right? But you know, I am the void. I am the stardust. I am the I am. You know, I am a part of this world, and because of that, I can bring any part of this world towards me, or I can push it away. One thing that I see as almost like a warning. And I use that word lightly because obviously I don't want you to panic or get any negative connotation. When we're staring at the void, we get this glimpse of the entire universe. We're looking in the dark, and you have to be careful to not get lost in that dark, to not get weighed down by all the constellations, by all the stars, by all the solar systems, by all the universes. I get almost like a Seven of Cups energy here, where there's so many directions that you can focus your attention, that you want to make sure that you don't get lost in this. Find something that you can anchor yourself to, like this pillar. Know which portal it is that you're walking into. Pick one. Otherwise, you'll get lost in this void. You'll be floating in space because you haven't found a point in space to fixate on, to steer your ship. When we also look at the void, when we scan this huge horizon, this massive space in front of us, we sometimes absorb things that don't belong to us, right? If we're looking at all these other options. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you go on social media to check what's going on in the news. Something that might take you 5 minutes to do. And sure enough, an hour later, you're like, why am I still on this? Because you're drifting through the void. You're drifting through the void, even though your purpose is to get one piece of information, to move in one particular direction. You've cut yourself loose from the ship, and you're floating into space. And because of that, you might not just see the news, or you might not just go on Facebook to see how your sister is doing and your niece and nephews are doing. You might find that you're taking in all of this energy, all of this news that doesn't serve you right now. You are absorbing what's not yours. You are absorbing this energy, this news, these distractions, this Seven of Cups of things that might be around your path. They might be orbiting your path, but they are not your path. They're things that you're supposed to drive by, and you're supposed to let them kind of pass through your peripheral vision, right? On your cosmic quest. If you focus too much on the distraction and the void, you will absorb what is not yours. You will absorb what doesn't belong to you. And I see that here with this Weaver card. Weaving, obviously, is the creation. It is pursuing something, jumping through the portal to bring something to life. But you can get stuck in a web, right? You can get stuck to the sword while you're weaving. So it's a delicate balancing act. Make sure in February that you are focusing on your energy and your path alone. Don't let other people's energy or the current events of the day distract you from your mission, from your purpose. Because you might be inclined in February to absorb things that are not for you. They're just distractions in the void. So you have to kind of have that narrow-minded vision in February. You're being called to focus. Pick a cup out of those 7 cups. Let's see what the tarot has to say. What information can you give us about this for flower number 3 for February 2020, please? February of 2020, please. What information can you give us? For flower number 3, please, for February 2020. Okay. Oppression, the 10 of Pentacles, the 9 of Swords, and transformation. Okay. So I definitely see that this pursuit, I feel like it's more material than it is, let's say, spiritual. like decks number, flowers 1 and 2. They had more of a spiritual, flower number 1, I'm sorry, had more of a spiritual message behind it. I feel like this has to do with more worldly things, a specific goal, a specific job, getting some kind of financial abundance here. We have oppression, and I feel very strongly that this card represents letting, you're being guided by the things from the past. These past hurts. I don't think it's any coincidence that even though the Weaver card came out, I was drawn to say that you had been hurt. Flower number 3. That you have gone through it. And I feel like this is something that's been going on for at least 2 or 3 years, where you have felt a little bit disconnected. You have felt like you're not on a particular path. You're kind of all over the place. And you've been hurt. You've felt oppressed. And you have felt alone. Even if there's a million people around you, I feel like the thoughts that you have had aren't thoughts that you could maybe readily express to people. They weren't things that you could just kind of, maybe your friends aren't that deep, or they wouldn't understand the deeper meaning behind your words if you tried to communicate. But I do see this as a very lonely journey that you've been on. Feeling alone, feeling oppressed, feeling like you have, I hate to say bad luck, but that's the word, those are the words that came to me, like you have bad luck. You have been oppressed. And this person, if you look at the way that they're represented on this card, they're on another planet, because Earth is here in the palm of their hand. We also have this feather here, which, represents swords to me in the tarot. It represents our thoughts. And you have a lot of anxiety in your thoughts with this Nine of Swords, this dark night of the soul. I see you looking with an oppressed state of mind at the Ten of Pentacles. Will I ever have that? Why does it feel so far away? Why can't I reach this place? You're being called in February to realize that you are the Weaver. You are being called to realize that your inner self, the part of you that has been bruised and broken, that has been forged in that fire, like this blade has, like a blacksmith, right? Life has forged you in this fire. This person, you are that person. You are the person that has survived this. And for some reason, whatever the reason might be, you are stuck in this place of realizing that you have gone through some oppression. But I don't feel like you're connecting with the fact and with the person that has survived it, right? You have been oppressed, but you have also survived oppression. And you're not balancing perspective, right? If you are the person that has been oppressed in the past, whether financially, emotionally, physically, if you are that person, if you were that person in the past, if you were oppressed, right now, in the present time, you are also the person that has survived that oppression. And I don't feel like you're connecting with that other side of yourself. You're connecting with the nothing ever works out for me side, with the why can't things work in my favor? Why can't I have this? You're stressed about this, right? But you are the person that has survived all of this. So what does that say about you? Flower number 3. Because to me, the people that have been forged through fire, first of all, they're stronger than they know. They were built specifically to endure. So the question for you for February, Flower 3, is what has that turned you into? Because when I see somebody that has been oppressed and has come out of the other side of that, I see a strong person that can overcome anything, that can get anything. You don't have to look wantingly at this Ten of Pentacles from this state of oppression. You can move to this. Because if you're strong enough to survive this frame of mind, you're strong enough to create this abundant life. So that's the energy that I'm getting, especially with this let yourself be seen. You need to see both sides of your nature. If you have felt unlucky or like things happen for other people that don't happen for you, you have to see, well, I am a survivor. I have gone through all these trials and tribulations and come out of the other side. What does that say about me as a person? Maybe I'm tougher than I know. Maybe I can achieve something that I didn't think that I could achieve because I was looking at success from this place. So you are absolutely in your head about this in February. But I don't think that it's in a way, you're having this dark night of the soul, but I don't think it's in a way that, something just came to me. I'm gonna say it even though the person that was this character on this show ended up being a weirdo. Let's just put it that way. There is a character on a television show, and they had this monologue during this show. And one of the things that this character said was, there are two types of pain in the world. There's the kind of pain that pushes you to become something extraordinary. There's the kind of pain that forces you to become something, that sets you up to be the strong person that you need to be in order to have this thing to take you to your destiny. And then there's useless pain. There's the kind of pain that leaves you on your couch for 3 months feeling bad about yourself, right? And I'm not talking down to anybody that might be in that place. Okay? It's the lesson, not so much the delivery, right, of this little monologue. And the character says about useless pain, he says, I have no patience for useless things. And I feel like this Nine of Swords, this dark night of the soul, this worry, this stress that you are going through here, it's not useless. It is not useless pain. It is not useless anxiety. It is you staring into the void of your life. It is you saying, there's a lot of darkness here, but you know what? Boy, oh boy, is there a lot of light. And I'm choosing now to go through the portal that is full of light, of this healing energy. I mean, look at this woman. She has the courage. Look at her and how at peace she is now that she's taken the step to show her courage, to let the other side of this oppression be seen. The side where you endure. And I just heard somebody say, but I'm tired of enduring. Girl, I feel you. I'm a Scorpio, okay? I completely understand. You're tired of we have tough roads. But this is not useless pain, and you need to know that. I feel like if there's anything of value that I can give you in this reading, this is probably the most important thing. Is that this Nine of Swords it's almost like I see somebody like sweating it out, like in a fever pitch, like a fever, tossing and turning at night, like a purge of this way of thinking. You're not going to be wanting this because you're purging the idea that this is where you're stuck at. And you're embracing all of your experiences. Look at everything in her hand. All of your experiences, everything that the world has taught you, everything that your mind has taught you, everything that the earth has taught you, everything that your heart has taught you, all of these elements. You're weighing these things in your hand and you're saying, okay, this is the concoction. This is the recipe. This is what I need to purge and what I need to keep holding on to. I'm taking the pain and I'm throwing the pain away, but I'm keeping the lessons that I was taught in my mind. I'm keeping the lessons of what it takes, of who it is that I have to be in order to move from oppression to the Ten of Pentacles. If this is financial, I certainly see that if you were in a place of lack financially in February, you're going to see an improvement in the finances. You might be offered some new opportunities for work. You just have to reach out and accept. You have to, the doors are opening. You have to decide if the rewards are worth the jump. So if somebody has offered you an opportunity and you're kind of on the fence about it, this might be a sign that you need to more deeply consider it because it could change your finances. So absolutely, if you are coming from a place of financial abundance, February you're moving, you're making a big leap. I see a big jump in income, like in the thousands of dollars. This could be something like taxes even. If you're filing your taxes, you might get a better return than you had thought. So you're going from a place of maybe having $0 in your bank account to a couple $1,000s in a tax return. And you might have been stressing about whether this money was going to come through or not, and it has. But on a deeper level, I see this as losing this oppressive state of mind. Moving from this happened to me to this happened for me, and taking action to move towards this Ten of Pentacles. And there's this stress about it. It's not useless stress, but also I feel like very heavily like this is going to work out in your favor. We have the transformation card here. So you're transforming yourself, your way of thinking, your finances in the month of February. You could be a Scorpio. We have air energy here, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, earth energy. I also, with the sword here, we have some air energy as well. I'm curious. I get one more card on this Ten of Pentacles. Oof. 2 cards, okay. Awakening and the High Priestess. So to me, I definitely see you're tuning into your intuition here. This woman has her intuition on speed dial. She's got a crystal to her ear, right? She's on the phone. She's got the universe on hold, not the other way around, right? She is the person that initiates the conversation. I feel like there is something stirring in you here that you're jumping. Something in your intuition is telling you it's time to take this leap of faith. This could be towards a new business. This could be moving into a different position in your job. But you're listening to your intuition and you're coming into this awakening. You're coming into this rebirth, a new way of thinking. And that changes this oppression. That brings you into this new way of being, listening to your inner guidance. That takes you to this Ten of Pentacles. Reawakening from this frame of mind. to become abundant. I love that for you. Yeah, if finances are something that is on your mind, those are going to be transforming in the month of February. You're going to be getting a lot of money in February. Whether that's the promise of a new job, you might not physically be able to hold it, but there is information, there is news coming down from the heavens, right? The universe just called you. So wake up. I've got this money for you. I've got this abundance for you. There's no more of this. There's no more oppression. I love that. Okay, let's move on to... Let me get some oracle cards here on this, please, for February 2020, for flower number 3, please. For February of 2020, please. What kind of guidance can you give here, please? For February 2020, please. Okay. Double mission. Lightworker Starseed, serve the world by being you. We the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. Ooh, on top of portal, on top of pillar. Look at these cards. Talk about opening doors in February, walking through. Look at this too. This card speaks of deep love, of mother's milk. There's a lot of healing that I feel here for you, flower number 3 in February. Like the universe is almost, you know, I don't want to be graphic, but like you're at the teat, you're being nurtured, you're being breastfed. One of you could actually be bringing new life into the world. We have a new earth as well. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Yeah. This is over. This frame of mind, the suffering, you're going to feel a weight lifted off of you in February. I mean, I can feel it in the cards. I can feel that energy of being able to it's gonna feel so easy too. I wish I could get this out to describe the feeling. Everything has been such a struggle from here. To go from oppression to the 10 of Pentacles, you're gonna be like, how did this even happen? I didn't even think this was possible. And it's gonna be as easy as opening the door, as saying yes, as taking the leap, as getting out there. As just taking one little opportunity that you don't realize will trickle down and will set you up for this 10 of Pentacles life. This could even be a business. Maybe you're starting a tarot business. Maybe you feel like you've awakened from this oppression, and this is why you were forged in this fire. Because you were meant, your purpose was to dial into that intuition, to awaken and to share that with the world. To tell the world your story, whether that's through tarot or something else. You're letting yourself be seen. And right on, oh my God. I know that I said this earlier, but I started drifting towards these cards and I totally forgot. Lightworker Starseed, serve the world by being you. So double mission. Wow. Okay. So if you have thought about doing anything like this, like what I'm doing in your life, this is your sign. Serve the world by being you. By sharing your struggles, your oppressions, by giving people guidance based off of what you've learned from this pain. It's time to awaken, to get out of your bed and to serve the world. And you get double mission here. You get to not only serve the world, but you also get this abundance financially that you were not expecting. If you are taking on a project that you're thinking, will this bring me financial stability? Is this what I'm meant to be doing? This is your sign. You are on a double mission. Your mission to share yourself with the world, your story, your wisdom, right? Your awakening. When you share that, when you put that phone, that crystal phone to your ear, and you tell the world your story and you let yourself be seen, you will help others and you will be abundantly rewarded for it. And this is going to nurture your soul, this deep love, this mother's milk. You're going to feel like you are sipping from the divine. And you're going to say, where has this been all my life? And the transition to this, it's going to feel easy. It's going to feel so destined that it might take you aback and it might scare you a little bit. Because you're like, this doesn't happen to me. These things don't happen to me. I also see that if you were waiting on money from, let's say, a settlement or a tax return, you're going to be using a portion of that money to invest into a business or to invest into spirituality or some kind of healing, maybe seeing a counselor, group therapy. But definitely, if you are thinking about starting an intuitive business, this is your sign to jump, to walk through the portal, to invest in yourself, to take the lessons that you've learned and to give that abundantly to the world and have it be given abundantly back to you. I love this. And then we have, it's happening. Keep holding the vision. I realized that I pulled from this deck twice. And I meant to pull from the Work Your Light, but I feel like that's a sign. I feel like that's a sign that those were the cards that you were meant to have. I want to pull some advice for you before we leave the reading. I don't want to ruin it. Hopefully give me some good cards. No, give me the truth, okay? What kind of advice can you give me for flower number 3, for their transformation, this shift for them in February, please? Please give me some advice for flower number 3 for February 2020. Solitude. Think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during your quiet times. This falls so in line with this oppression card, with everything that I was saying about building yourself from your pain, from your hurt, that quiet, this stillness, this time of great tribulation, that has given you this great strength, this knowing. That will give you, that is a treasure. And this has waited. This has waited. Like I said in the beginning, I feel like this hurt, this pain, this break in your spirit that you have felt. I said, didn't I, that I thought it had been going on for 2 to 3 years. The things that wait silently, those are the greatest treasures. This has been stirring in your soul for a while, and now is the time. It's happening now. Hold the vision of this transformation. That is a great place to end this reading. What a powerful message. I hope that this blessing hits you in February. If the message resonates with you, please let me know down in the comments. If you liked this video and it added anything of value to your life, if you would be so kind as to give the video a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. It certainly helps the channel get seen by other people. And subscription is optional, but if you feel inclined to subscribe, I would feel very fortunate to have you in our little family here. So with that said, I've got some other videos here on the channel if you want to kind of peruse the other videos that are available, the other pick a cards that are available. But if this is where I leave you, I'm so grateful that you watched today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Hello and welcome back. If you picked flower number 4, then this is the reading on what you can expect in the month of February 2020. Let's get started. I'd like to start by pulling some oracle cards for you from the Threads of Fate Oracle to get a general overview of the overall theme for February for you. This will be the theme that will anchor the reading. Please give me 2 cards for the overall energy for flower number 4 for the month of February 2020, please. 2 cards, please, for the overall energy. Please want it to come out. Okay. Thank you. So we have withdraw and we have release. Interestingly enough, the color scheme for this particular deck, I find it interesting that you've pulled this green energy on both oracle cards. So we have the card of withdrawal. We have a little, it looks like a fox here that's kind of gone a little bit into the fetal position here to withdraw, recoup. And we have release, a frog letting go of something. And funny enough, it's sitting on top of a flower. So, in the month of February, I'm picking up very heavily that this is a time for you to detach from the world. This is a time for you to be in a deep contemplative state. Hermit energy here. You are withdrawing and releasing from the day-to-day, from distraction. You are releasing the pools of society. And what I mean by that is things like social media. You might be going on a social media break. You might be realizing that you need to release this clutch that you have on the outside world right now in order to do some healing, to get some rest. So you're in a state of withdrawal in the month of February. This could be because in January you hit the ground running on the new year, on your goals, and you might have run yourself a little thin here. And now it's time to take a step back, to rest, and to come up with almost like a new game plan, and to release the things that you learned in January were no longer serving you. I get this trial and error message here from this. I get this feeling that you tried a variety of ways to shift certain things in your life in January, and you're learning what of those things were successful and what weren't. So you're going over your goals, you're going over your vision. You could be even looking over your vision board, taking a moment to go within, to withdraw, to, like the hermit, follow that inner light. If you see that light that's radiating from this fox on this card. So that way you know what it is that you've learned from January that is helpful to your cause, and what it is that is not for you that you need to release and let go of. You could also be withdrawing from a relationship here in February, releasing that, standing on your own 2 feet in your own brilliance, knowing that being alone is not a bad thing. You're standing in your own power in the month of February. Let's see what kind of oracle guidance we'll get on these 2 cards. Please clarify withdraw and release for flower number 4 for the month of February 2020, please. Please clarify withdraw and release for flower number 4 for the month of February, please. Please clarify withdraw and release. Okay? And, okay. A lot of cards, but we're going to take them. Oh my goodness. Already seeing where this is going. So, we have all paths lead home, inner authority, intuition, turning your gaze inward. Take a look at this. If that isn't turning your gaze inward, I don't know what is. You're balling in on yourself. You're in this protective nest. You're taking a moment to go within, to listen to your intuition on what it is that you need to release in February of 2020. We have called souls, gifts, and training. It's time to step up. So perhaps you've been called to take this break. You've been called to release from the world so that you can go inside and figure out what it is that you need to step up on. Interesting. Let's see what else we have here. Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, and higher learning. Interesting. So you could also, in the month of February, be taking a moment to actually go into study. That is what your withdrawal from the world. You're cracking a book open. You're learning, you're going back to school possibly. But also I see this as a reflection on the life lessons that you've learned. You know, what is your intuition trying to tell you right now? Even this card of intuition has this circular labyrinth, these circular stones, just like the fox here on the withdraw card. And the last card that you have is perspective. This is probably, for some reason, this card always stands out to me. Probably because it's so dark in contrast with the other cards in the deck. So we have a picture of the earth in the distance, in space, and the card reads perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out and common ground. So we're taking a moment. Oh my goodness. We're taking a moment to look at our perspective, to question our inner gaze, to look at what's inside, what truly matters in our life. What is your soul gift? Where is it that you need to step up in your life? You're getting perspective on that, and you're realizing that none of this matters. The stuff that you're releasing, the stuff that you have learned, that you need to let go of, that you need to release, you are gaining a perspective that this stuff is irrelevant. And that's why you so easily can let it go in the month of February. Because you've gained this new perspective by going within to the intuition, by looking at what soul gifts you have and training. That goes very much in line with this Earth School card, you know, the studying, higher learning, training. So you definitely are releasing something here. And it's only after a period of introspection that you can finally figure out what it is that needs to be released. So you're going to be withdrawing in the month of February to figure that out. Let's go through, I want to get some tarot on this. Give us some tarot cards to clarify this message, please, for flower number 4 for February of 2020, please. What are the messages for flower number 4 for February 2020? Please clarify these oracle cards, please. For flower number 4 for February of 2020. This is really calling to me. The Knight of Wands. What messages do we have for flower number 4 for the month of February, please? This definitely wants to come out. The 7 of Cups. Oof, too many cards. For February of 2020, please. For flower number 4. Let's see what we have here. It's a lot of cards, but I'm going to take them. Okay. Knight of Swords, King of Swords, 10 of Cups, 2 of Cups, the Magician, the 5 of Crystals, and the 8 of Cups. Okay, so the first flower was all about spiritual growth. The second was about material growth, I believe. Oh, no, it was about self-worth. The third was about material worth and material wealth. And this seems to be very much about relationships. So we have this Knight of Wands. This could be somebody in your life, or you could be this energy here. So right off the bat, I see Virgo, obviously, with this Hermit energy. The Knight of Wands is fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And then we have the Seven of Cups. I get the feeling here that you have somebody that came into your life that lit a spark. They brought this passion into your life, this wand that looked magical, that shined so brightly, that transfixed you in a way. And you jumped headfirst into this Knight of Wands lap. It could be a masculine energy or feminine. Either gender works. These readings aren't gender specific. But this Knight of Wands, they rushed in. I very much feel like this is somebody else's energy. Even if you are a fire sign, I feel like the energy of this card is this person. They rushed in, they got you hopeful. They looked so magical in this cosmic wilderness that we have represented on this card. But they were kind of playing the field. They were playing games. They left you a little confused. And that's the problem with this Knight of Wands, isn't it? Just as quickly as they're in, they're out. I feel like in February, you may have been dealing this past month or couple of months, even years, with this Knight of Wands energy, somebody non-committal, somebody that wants to come in and out, that leaves you feeling very confused, that possibly even exercises other options. They don't let you know you're the one. They're wishy-washy. They might not be great at communicating their emotions either. But they do come in with this fire energy when they want something from you, right? But they leave you in this very ambivalent state. You're going within, you're withdrawing from this energy because you don't want to play any games. It's time to step up. It's time to step up and say enough, right? You're turning your gaze inward, and instead of saying, what is wrong with this person that we can't find a common ground, that they can't commit to me, that they don't love me the way that I want, you're saying, what's shifting inside of me that I now feel like this is no longer worthy of me? And that's a powerful thing. You're taking control of that. You're stepping up. You've taken the time to withdraw in February to really examine this relationship, how it has left you feeling. This person might even make you feel like you are not just an option to them, but I get this arrogance. I'm going to just say it. Like they can have you when they want you, and then they can have any of these other cups at the same time. Or they could move, depending on their mood, to whatever cup they feel like while they leave you hanging. And you're saying, I've learned enough from your behavior. This doesn't matter in the long run. This isn't the type of love. You know, the man or the woman that's going to love me for the rest of my life isn't going to do this. They're not in and out. They don't make promises that they can't fulfill. They're not some pipe dream. They choose me and only me. They don't make me feel like an option, and they tell me how they feel. They don't leave me feeling confused. They communicate. But moreover, they're stable. They're a constant presence, not just a one-night stand whenever I feel like it. Call me up when you're bored or when you want some physical attention. You know, you get what I'm saying here. This flighty energy. You're telling yourself, I've learned enough. I understand you now. No more confusion. I get who you are. I get where you're coming from. This isn't for me. This doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, because the person that I am meant to be with wouldn't treat me this way. So you're zooming out. You're taking a step back to look from a distance at this person, and you're understanding in the month of February that it's time to release. It's time to let go of this. it's time to let go of somebody that won't choose you. The Eight of Cups. Sorry, I flipped these over. There we go. They were all upright. So you're walking away. You're leaving this in the past, this confusion, this in and out energy, this turbulent water. And you're moving towards the distance, towards these rocks, towards a solid foundation. And look at what is out there for you waiting when you release this. I mean, look at the beautiful bounty that is out there for the taking. If you would just let go, if you would get off of this rock and you would move forward and you would, cross the waters, these rocky waters, onto stable footing. The Five of Pentacles. Yeah, this person, they've left you feeling out in the cold. I feel like this is mutual. This is how they've made you feel. Like you're not a part of their clan. Like you're just an option. You're not a solid fixture. Even when you're with them, you feel like you're outside of the building looking in, instead of like you're a part of the union. And I also get the feeling that this is how they're going to feel when you withdraw and you release. Because they're not used to somebody being assertively saying to themselves, assertively saying to them, I'm not just an option. Again, like I said before, I get this strong arrogance from this individual. They've gotten away with this before, and they've dated low vibrational people, or they've been in relationships with low vibrational people that have settled for scraps, I'm sorry to say. And you're not that person. You understand that there is more out there for you. You have the entire world in your view, and you understand that there are more cups in the distance, cups that are meant for you. Because I don't think that these are. I don't think that this is the cup that is meant for you. And I think that you know that, and you're walking away. And that might make you feel lonely for a time. Withdrawal and hermit mode is a singular feeling, right? It's a singular task. But you understand that maybe you were already alone because they were in and out. They didn't make you feel like you were together, So you already kind of feel alone. So really you're not missing out on much. Let's see what else we have. The Magician. You know that you can manifest what it is that you want. You have to get rid of the baggage first. This could also speak to some trickery on the part of this person. And I don't normally get that from the Magician, but kind of given the energy that I've gotten here, I feel like when you release them, they're going to do, like I said, a double take. Because they're like, hold on a second, I'm the one that's normally in control, right? I'm the one that decides when they're in and out. No one has ever made this decision for me. I wouldn't be surprised if this person has never been dumped before or told, I want to be the one that walks away. And I feel like once you do, they are going to have this realization that they are left out in the cold, that they took you for granted. And they're going to try to manifest you back. They're going to try to sweet talk you back. Interesting. Let's see what else we have here. The Two of Cups. Yeah. So obviously, this was somebody that you felt a really close connection to. But I think that this also is somebody that, two things. One, sometimes we can be connected to somebody and still drown. I mean, that lady that is floating in the imagery of this card, she's floating in this lake, But she could easily get submerged by these feelings. Just because something feels this way doesn't mean that it's meant for you for the long haul. It could just be here to teach you a lesson, right? Life lessons, soul growth, to teach you a lesson and then to move on. That is a soulmate, right? Somebody that was meant to teach you something. And then you take what they've taught you and you move on. They weren't meant to be in your life forever. But also, I feel like when you do this, when you release, when you let go, they are going to realize that they were more attached to you than they thought. And this is why they feel left out in the cold, and this is why they're trying to come back in. Part of it is a game because their ego is in the way, and they want to not be the one that has lost control, that has had somebody leave them instead of the other way around, right? I see that here with the Magician. Part of that is this kind of sneaky energy. But I think genuinely, it's like that saying, you don't know what you have until it's gone. You guys might be listening to that song a lot, or you've heard it in the past month, or in February, you'll hear that song come up a lot. You don't know what you got till it's gone. Because they're having this realization once you've walked away that they feel alone. And they're going to try to bring you back because they realize, wow, this might have been something more than what I thought it was. Ooh, I don't know if you're going to take this person back though. You seem, from your energy, I'm pulling a very, because this isn't on a whim. You've stood back and you have observed. You've observed the behavior, the treatment, the promises, okay, the way this person speaks, the way they act, if they ever follow through with the commitments that they make, how they've treated others in their previous relationships. You have all the data. You're like, here's the receipts, right? You have a list in your journal of every time they've wronged you. You remember. And this is not a decision that you are coming to lightly. It's after a seriously long period of reflection, of getting perspective, of learning, right? About what it is that you need in your soul, and about stepping up, checking in with your inner intuition, turning your gaze within, and relying on that inner authority, that path that leads you home, that leads you back to yourself, to who you know you are and what you know that you deserve. You have not embarked on this lightly. And so I don't think that you're going to be so easily convinced. I don't think that they can just ride in on their horse and bat their little eyelashes at you, and you're just going to jump back into this pond with them. Because you've learned the facts about this person. Through this withdrawal, and you know that this is something that you have to step up and release. I just heard beg me. Flower number 4, what are you up to in February? Now, don't go being cruel about it. Like, you want them, it's like beg me now, right? Because you have the upper hand in a sense. Interesting. Okay, let's see what else is coming out. The 10 of Cups. So yeah, I think that you saw this as something that could be long-term. You definitely had a deep soul connection with this person, and you may have even been in a higher level of commitment with them. But this is the end of the cycle. I feel like this definitely was a person that was a soulmate that was brought into your life to teach you the lessons. And it's time to release it now. It's a weird feeling to get with the 2 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. But I feel like this is the end of this cycle. I don't know if you're willing to take this person back. I think you've decided firmly to release this. Because like it says in this card, none of this matters. Let's keep going. Yeah, the King of Swords, cutting out the things in your life that don't serve you anymore. And remember what I said about you saying, beg me? I don't even think you're being that nice about it. Like, you have had enough. You are choosing logic over emotion, because we've got a lot of cups here. And you're walking away. You're choosing your peace of mind over this wishy-washy. And it's funny that I stacked the cards like this. I'm not sure why I did that, but I feel like that's the tumultuous road that this relationship has been on. I love you, I don't, I'm busy, I want to see you, I'll call you later, you never call, like, you know what I mean? Like, just this up and down energy of confusion and of them not making up their mind on what they want. What's the last card? The Knight of Swords. You're getting out of Dodge. Again, this feeling of not even feeling like you need to be nice to them. Oh, okay, I just got, why do I need to treat somebody the way that they never treated me? Well, I always recommend leaving good karma in your wake, right? But I can understand if you feel like you don't need to give this person any more grace than you've already afforded them. I can understand that. And embracing this inner King of Swords and saying, come hither, I've got a blade just for you, and I'm going to speak my truth to you, and it's going to be blunt, and I'm going to move on. I'm going to move away quickly. Just as quickly as you come in, I'm moving out with the truth, with clarity, with my mind at ease. Interesting. Okay, let's see if we can get some Work Your Light cards for flower number 4, please, for February 2020. Thank you. Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided, so you definitely feel like you've weighed the pros and cons, and this is the natural course. We have a yes, just say yes, and we have mirror, who or what is triggering you. So I definitely feel like this could be someone from your past or someone that you have a higher level of commitment with. Because typically strangers don't really trigger us. I mean, it's pretty rare unless something very shocking happens, like somebody, rear ends you in a parking lot, or a stranger doesn't have a way of deeply, deeply affecting us as much as somebody that has been, a bigger part of our life. This Just Say Yes card, I want to get some clarification on that. What are we saying yes to? What are we saying yes to? Oh, the 7 of Wands. Okay. Keeping your guard up. Staying vigilant. I feel like this is yes to this King of Swords. This might be, especially with all this water energy, you're used to communicating, or you could even be a water sign. You're used to communicating in a more passionate way, a more loving way. And this is almost like saying yes to just cutting things off bluntly. Just release. Don't just delete the number, remove them off social media, don't stalk them, don't look at them, keep your guard up. Even when they try to come back and say, yes, I want this. Yes, I want to try again. Yes, I want to try to be the magician and manifest this. I feel left out in the cold. I'm not used to somebody leaving me on my own. Even when their no, this flighty energy turns into a yes, you need to stay on your guard. And I think too, when you take this withdrawal, you're going to find what it is about them that has so deeply triggered you. Is it rejection? right? Is it that the lack of commitment? Does somebody saying no to you trigger something that needs to be healed? Does that pick at a scab that you realize, wow, there's a wound there that I didn't know was there before? What does that mean? What do I need to do in my personal work, in my shadow work, in order to heal that so that I'm not easily triggered by somebody like this? This could be, I said, I really don't feel like you're going to give this person a second chance. But if you do, if they come back like this magician, and with the 2 of Cups saying, I want the 10 of Cups, and you say yes, you're going to say yes, but you're going to be very guarded and watchful. You and your intuition are watching in the distance, ready to fend off, ready to protect, ready to pounce if anything goes back to the way that it was before. And then you might embrace this King of Swords energy. What an interesting spread. Let me get one card of advice for you before I leave you. For flower number 4, one card of advice, please, for February 2020. Abundance. Prepare yourself for incoming abundance. Release any mental blocks you may have. In fairyland and human land, there is enough abundance for everyone. So again, falling very much in line with what I was saying about the 8 of Cups. Releasing. Knowing that there's more out there for you in the distance. Knowing that, you're going to be okay, even if you decide to separate, to walk away, to not take this person back. You understand that there is somebody that's meant for you out there. You understand you're healing yourself from whatever this is, and again, release and release. You're going within and you're letting something go here. It could be what's triggering you because she's looking in this direction. Releasing this person or this thing that triggers you. What an interesting spread. Let me know. This definitely was the most curious out of all 4. Let me know if this message resonates with you, what you got from it. If you enjoyed this reading and you've got something of value from it, please thumbs the video up. It really helps the channel out. Of course, I've got other videos on here, other pick-a-cards, tarot deck reviews. So if you're interested in those, you can peruse them through the video list. And as always, you can order a personal reading on my website, wokwitchtarot.com, if you want a more personalized message tailored just for you. If this is where I leave you, I thank you so much for watching my channel. I know you have a plethora of options of who you can watch, so I appreciate you spending your time with me. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Hey everyone, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video for information about the tarot deck giveaway. So if you've gotten this far, or if you've seen the little nudge over in the upper left hand corner, or if you have followed me over here from Instagram, you'll know that I am giving away one of the unicorn tarot decks. So if you'd like to enter to win this deck, like all the other decks that I have given away on this channel so far, entering the giveaway is pretty simple. All you have to do is obviously subscribe to my channel, give me a follow on Instagram, and leave a comment down below on anything. Any comment will do. You could talk about how your day is, if the video resonates, what your goals are for the month of February, what it is that you're trying to manifest. Or you could talk about the unicorn deck itself. Subscribe to the channel, give me a follow on Instagram, and go ahead and leave a comment down below. And I will announce the winner of the deck next Wednesday when I upload the review for the deck. So if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. I look forward to giving this deck away to one of you. It's always fun to be able to give back to people that give so much to me. Good luck, and remember, if you don't win this one, I'll be doing another one very, very soon. Thanks, have a great weekend, everyone.